Amnesty International என்று கூறப்படுகின்ற மனித உரிமை கழகமானது இப்பகுதியிலே வந்து இன்டர்நேஷனல் என்றால் என்ன?
Está dedicada a Rodrigo Rojas.
The lifeline of the prisoners of conscience is our letters. And since we just received these cases, we have to write immediately so that these letters will have an impact.
In 1960, 2 students were imprisoned by the dictatorship in Portugal for making a toast to freedom. Peter Benenson, a lawyer in London, read about them and wanted to protest personally. But he realized that a worldwide movement was needed to help such victims. That was how Amnesty International was launched. Today, we are over 1 million people. We work to free prisoners of conscience, those held for their beliefs who have not used or advocated violence. We seek fair trials for all political prisoners. We oppose torture and the death penalty worldwide. Here in India, we are making every effort to take our message to the people.
Basically, India being a multicultural society, so you have to use a little bit of deviations to tell people in their own language what the message is. The tree in a village becomes automatically the stage, and the people surround the tree and sit, where the message is repeated on both sides, like there are 4 sides to it. Our organization, Amnesty International, believes in human beings as one community, concerned for one and all. And it is basically this that makes the pain of a man at 2 different geographical points one and the same. So the same crowd gets the message, the dialogue 4 times, and it is much superimposed in memory. Amnesty International.
This is Radio Presidente Ibanez in the city of Punta Arenas, and we're about to interview Gaston Hernandez, who coordinates the Punta Arenas group of Amnesty International. Welcome, Gaston.
Thank you, Juan. Good afternoon.
Gaston, please tell us about the latest case that you've been working on, since you know a lot about human rights through your work with Amnesty International.
The latest case is that of a prisoner of conscience in Morocco, in North Africa. It's made a big impression on us.
Gaston, do you find it difficult to work for human rights in Punta Arenas?
Yes, we do. Mainly because we can't get further information locally and have to get it from the center and other sources. Also, street activity is sometimes not possible because of the severe weather. It's either a case of very strong winds or very low temperatures.
El clima es muy riguroso, o es el viento muy fuerte o las temperaturas son muy bajas.
Bueno, el hecho de estar tan aislados del mundo
ha desarrollado en
Being so far away from everywhere else has made us especially keen to take an interest in problems in other parts of the world, to see if there's anything we can do to help.
mundo entero, si es posible que podamos ayudar.
Hi, my name's Alejandra and she's Loretta. We are members of the southernmost group of Amnesty International. From here in Punta Arenas on the Magellan Strait, we send a warm hello to all members of Amnesty and well, good luck. And let's carry on working for human rights around the world.
We have members all over the country, from Arica in the north right down to Punta Arenas in the south. And we have groups in Antofagasta, Vallenar, La Serena, Valparaiso, Santiago, Concepcion, Temuco, Valdivia, and so on, all the way down to Punta Arenas, the most southerly Amnesty International group in the world.
El grupo más austral del mundo en Amnistía Internacional.
And we have this Amnesty group here in Kano, which is where I am now and where we're conducting this interview. Then if you move down from Kano, we have another group in Kaduna, which is in Kaduna State, the capital of Kaduna State. You have a group there.
In Nigeria, each group has a coordinator who coordinates, that is a link man between the International Secretariat or the national section or any other Amnesty International group or section in the world. And they coordinate, receive letters on behalf of the group, call for meetings, meets with groups, make arrangements on how to write letters, reply to letters, inform the group on information received.
You know, Nigerians are people who are very conscious of freedom and, you know, human rights. They talk about their rights, so it's something of interest for you to be fighting for somebody you don't know. And given the nature of Nigerians, that's why we like it, and everybody is out to participate with Amnesty.
As the information coordinator for the Nigerian group to Kaduna, generally we receive our information from the International Secretariat through the posts. But when we have urgent cases, campaigns, this information come in through the DHL, through the Kano International Airport. And when we have such cases, I will have to travel immediately to Kano to see the group coordinator in Kano, who receives these things from the airport immediately they arrive. Then I'll be able to get such information from them. Amnesty International is an open organization, and anybody can be a member, no matter your background or where you come from or whatsoever you do. You can be a member of Amnesty International to fight for the cause of humanity, and at the same time to uphold dignity for man.
There are both Muslims and Christians in Amnesty because we are all fighting one cause. So no matter their religion or their tradition, they all come together as one body, representing one organization and representing one single cause, fighting for one cause, and that's Amnesty. So we have different people in Amnesty.
I have met Mr. Yajem, and he has given me the updated information on the Amnesty International Week. We've discussed at length on the cases, and now I'm going back to Kaduna to meet the group members and discuss the cases with them. I need to go on time so that I'll meet the meeting taking place this evening.
We are in group information. I am the convener of the group. We are 15 members in that group. We are reading newsletters and sending letters to all other governments like Ghana and all other Sicily and Nigeria and Kenya, like that, for the prisoners.
We have tried to concentrate on translations from English to Tamil, because we thought that was the only way in which we can reach the local population, where knowledge of English, I think, is very to reach the grassroots level. We thought that the only way to do that is to bring out materials in the local language, and we have been doing that. We are also now planning to bring out this general information leaflet in Tamil. That will be done very soon.
Just coming from Coimbatore, the proof is very good. There is not much mistakes except one or two. Maybe you can just correct it and then thank you.
Actually, when we are taking this print, we feel that there is a small contribution we are doing for Amnesty International.
I think our main problem here is the people's fear. After 6 years living under a dictatorship, speaking about human rights is difficult because it has political overtones. But I try to explain that Amnesty is not a political group. We fight for human rights on an international level, although we've also had problems here in Chile.
We have to make people in this area aware of the problems that we have with regard to human rights. I have a very painful experience. My son disappeared. He was detained on November the 16th, 1974. His name is Sergio Alfonso Perez Navarro. I say is because I cannot accept that he is dead. He disappeared, and until I know what happened to him, I am not going to say that he died. I have some hope, not in the short term, because I don't think everything is going to be sorted out over the next 4 years. I think it's going to be a long job. But I pin my hopes on our young people who I can see are very aware. They know where they're going, and I think they'll do it much better than we did.
There's a whole range of things you can do in the section. We're all volunteers here. None of us is paid. And we do any job that the section needs to have done.
Apoyando a la sección en todas las cosas, en todos los trabajos que sea necesario. Una vez que el Secretariado Internacional ha procesado la información que le hacen llegar los informantes y la
Once the International Secretariat has processed the information it gets from all over the world, it sends telexes to all the sections in each country, and each section makes sure that all the members of the Urgent Action Network get a letter like this one, in which the particular case is explained. Each member then immediately writes a letter or sends a telegram or whatever, according to their means, to the country and person specified. This has to be done as quickly as possible.
What the young people are trying to do for Amnesty International is part of a fight for our ideals as young people. And we've found a way of doing something practical and real. We really feel that what we do is effective and that it's worth it.
Also, we have the urgent action which we received from the International Secretariat. With me here, I have two types of urgent action. There's one on red and there's one on black. In fact, the one on black is on cases in our own country. We don't work for such cases. That's why they are on black. And they don't need any action from our own country. We only needed them for information. While the ones on red are the ones we work on. And you can see with the red that there's trouble. You know, red is always danger. Amnesty has a lot of members all over the world, but they don't work for cases in their own country. They work for cases in other countries. And so in order to maintain the impartiality and independence of the organization, you don't need to work for a case in your own country, but you have the opportunity as a member to work for cases in other countries. Somebody asks, what does it take to be a member? One thing is only possible for you to be a member: interest, to fight the cause and dignity of man. In the International Secretariat, Amnesty International has a very, how do I put it, a research department that verifies all the information they receive, all photographs taken, to make sure, to really ascertain that